Good morning. Merry Christmas. Today we're having our Christmas pageant.
Wait, what? We haven't had any Christmas pageant rehearsals.
We have not.
We haven't cast any of the characters.
We'll just have to cast as we go.
How is that going to turn out?
We don't know.
Are we just going to ask anyone who wants to take a part to just take one?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So let's do this.
As our story unfolds, we'll pause at various points to ask for Mary's and Joseph's and
wait. What if we have more than one person who wants to be Mary or more than one Joseph?
In this Christmas pageant, we can have multiple Marys, up to 4 of them.
All of them virgins?
Or none of them virgins. That is not our business.
Right, of course. And they will simply be acting the parts of young unmarried women, which is what the word translated as virgin actually meant.
We'll have Marys, and we'll have Josephs, and we'll have goats, sheep, cows, and horses. We'll have angels and shepherds and wise folk. And before it's over, we expect more actors than we have audience. So children, listen up. If there's a part you want to play that is announced, it's very important that you raise your hand high and stand up, because our helpers will be looking for you. We want to make sure that children get first dibs on the parts.
One more point. Do we even have a script?
I've got the story right here. I'll tell the story, and those who choose can get in costume and embody their parts. But no one has any speaking lines, so there are no lines to learn.
So you'll just tell the story and people will act it out.
That's the plan.
Do you think they'll do it?
I am somewhat familiar with this crowd. I suspect they will.
Okay. But do you remember last year where I talked about how scholars have determined that line about no room in the inn is a mistranslation? Because there was no inn and there was no stable. The new translations say there was no place in the guest room.
Yes, but no stable, but there were animals and a manger. The story has been amended to reflect all that.
As I was saying, the children get first dibs on the parts. But don't worry, grown-ups. There are plenty of roles for you, too. Once you've chosen for a part, we'll ask you to head over to our helpers to be outfitted with your costumes while the congregation sings the carols listed in your order of service.
So think carefully about what part you want to play. You can only play one part per pageant, you know. So ask yourself, are you feeling in a goat mood this year? Or maybe a horse, or a shepherd. Maybe this is the year that you are angelic.
Or a wise magi.
Or Joseph.
Or Mary.
We'll see. Take it away.
Welcome to Bethlehem. Though times could be better, Rome's occupation binds us like a fetter. Now Rome's ordered a census. We do not know why. Are more taxes coming? Is forced labor nigh? Each household is ordered to its head's birthplace to register there, for Rome grants no grace. Me, I was born here. I don't need to leave home, but I've siblings and cousins who quite far have roamed. An influx of relatives soon will begin. And Bethlehem is small. It doesn't have an inn. Visiting siblings would be very nice, but third and fourth cousins removed once or twice? My house has 2 rooms with space for animals at night. A passel of relatives would make things quite tight.
Yes.
A first cousin and his wife were the first to arrive. They went in the guest room I'd never deprive. The sun was setting. We brought in our beasts. They stay in the family room, and we gathered to feast. Then a knock on the door gave us all quite a fright. Was it thieves? Was it Romans going knock in the night? It was a more distant cousin, Joseph, and his betrothed Mary. Great with child was she, such a load did she carry. Of course we would take them. That was never in doubt. But where could we put them? Our guest room was out. They just have to stay in the family room with our critters. We brought in more hay for bedding and calmed down their jitters. Mary, it seemed, was expecting quite soon, so we prepped for delivery right under the moon. The child came so quickly, his face seemed alight, as if God had shown God's presence so bright. The birthing went well. We were soon out of danger. We laid him with care in the animal's manger. Joseph said softly, "It's Jesus, my friend." God sent him among us to bring to an end fear and hatred and darkness and sin. Instead, God gave light to let God's love in. My animals were calm, quieter than normal. They often were noisy and never too formal. On that first Christmas night, they were strangely in awe at the sight of the babe and all that they saw. It's as if they were aware that God had just hushed them, had fed them and watered and carefully brushed them. They knew, I believe, though they kept stumm, quiet. A miracle had happened in our family room. Now, we don't often see angels in flight, but on the first Christmas, they lit up the night. They appeared to the shepherds, and boy, were they scared. "Angels!" cried one. "Will any lives be spared? Are they here to destroy us? Is our time on earth up? Have we seen our last day? Have we drunk our last cup?" But peace on earth, goodwill to all, was the angels' sweet song. That was their call. With a light snow that dazzled all who did see, the angels hallelujah'd and sang out with glee. "To Bethlehem, shepherds!" the angels directed, "to see the baby Jesus whom God has perfected. Go learn all you can and follow his ways, and you'll find Christmas joy for all of your days." The shepherds, I told you, were scared and stunned. Too much hard work or too much hot sun. That's what they thought. That's how they explained. Perplexed and afraid, they loudly complained. But the angel's song calmed them. And then they believed. They rejoiced when they knew, and they were quite relieved. They went to the stable and learned from the Lord. Then they left and began to spread the good word. The star that shone brightly led wise persons at night to Bethlehem and my house, and to the manger's strange light. They came bearing gifts in worship and love, praising God for God's wonders from heaven above. The wise men were kings, and they knelt on my straw. It was the oddest of things that I ever saw. If kings bring him treasure, then maybe you too can learn with pleasure from the person of Jesus who came to us all.
'Twas the very first Christmas, and there in the manger, the Christ child was born. It couldn't have been stranger.
Shepherds saw angels, wise men a star. They came to see Jesus, they came from afar.
So now at Christmas, we all take delight in the gift that God gave us that first Christmas night.